This is Vincent Meza from Listings to Leads, and this is our Get Started call for our platform. And if you're new to it, I see a lot of new people here on the call today, but if you're just learning about us, we're a real estate advertising platform. We are designed to help agents get buyers and seller leads. We can do that with marketing in social media. We can do that with marketing in print. We have tools that you can use in your CRM if you've got a lot of leads sitting in your CRM, and a lot of electronic tools, just a lot of ways of capturing either buyer or seller leads. Okay. I want to make one thing, and it says it right here in black and white. We can help you whether you have your own listings or you don't. Okay. So there's always tools wherever you are in the cycle to get things moving and to get more contact information for either buyers or sellers. Oh, okay, Linda. Well, welcome back on the refresher. So before we dive into the system, I want to point out a couple of resources for you. Okay, where can you learn more about our platform? Obviously, one of the ways is to be on a live call like we are today. And I want to invite you, and I'm going to send these links to you this is leadgenwebinars.com. And if you haven't seen this, we have our classes, our live classes like we're doing just now. So I'm going to send this one to you. Let's see, once I can get there. So it'll be in the chat panel on just 1 second. So we do 1 to 2 classes every week, right? And this is the Get Started one. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to have another one, right? So that's there, leadgenwebinars.com. It should be blinking on your GoToMeeting chat panel. I would definitely recommend that you save it, especially if you're new to us. These are the topics that you want to definitely understand. Get started, which is what today's class is. Top ways to get more listings. If you're an agent who wants listings, guess what we're covering there. And then Facebook advertising, how it works, how it works in our system, okay? Now, there's even a better place. I think for me, one of the areas that I really like is our YouTube channel. Scott's put a lot of work into this. Our marketing team is getting everything that we're doing, we're putting up there. Now, because this is a Get Started class, and by the way, you get here by just looking for listings to leads and going to the videos page. But what I definitely want to say is, if you're looking to get more listing, or if you're just wanting to understand our system, you read the titles here, because in the past couple of months, we've really been talking about some newer kinds of strategies that are working in the market right now. And as you know, it's kind of a weird market right now. And so here it says new strategy to get high quality listings from Facebook. It's got a couple steps in it. Don't let me, sugarcoat this. It's not difficult, but you're going to have to, but if you want listings in your business, and Facebook can be a really good avenue if you know how to do it correctly. So I cover that in these 2 calls here. Then you can see there's a getting started from July. That's the beginning of July. And then the top tools to get more listings, which I mentioned earlier, right? So if you don't want to wait for us to meet on from the Lead Gen webinars, from our live classes like today, you can always watch them here. And honestly, I think if you watch 3 or 4 videos, you are going to completely understand what it is you've got here. We have a lot of tools and listings to leads. I don't think every agent uses every tool that we create, but we do create a lot of things in an automated fashion. So if you turn it on, you can actually just have the automation do it for you. What I definitely would is, if you're using our platform, if you're using one tool, and there are a lot of agents that do that, like, oh, I like their open house sided thing, and that's all I use. If you can expand it, and I could tell you this from our clients who have grown their business like 100 and 200%, they're using like a half dozen to a dozen tools. And the tools I'm going to show you right now are those tools. Okay. So when we think about listings to leads, oh, there's one more place. Sorry. We were almost there. We are almost there. This is the mastermind group in Facebook. It is a private group. If you go to Facebook and you look for listings to leads mastermind group, you won't find it. You have to be in it to see it. There is some old, funky, weird page that you can't find, but that's not it. This is where Scott and I share what's coming on, what we're about to deliver. We have a really serious tech schedule happening this year, like every year. But we're also, this is where, our clients are asking questions, right? This one's like, hey, what are you using for open house? And she's just asking, and agents are responding and saying, this is how we're doing it, right? I do want to point this out here because this is something that Scott's been putting here, and I know the tech team is working on. And I'm not going to be able to discuss much about it, right? Which is video and video for social media. Now, if you've heard anything about TikTok, it's all video, right? To combat that activity, Facebook has moved Instagram into Reels, right? And YouTube has Shorts and Facebook has video. If you don't know it, video it's basically moving and it's capturing our eyes. If you've got a still photograph, it's only so effective, right? That's effective. It's colorful, right? But it's still a still photograph, and it's not as effective as a moving video. Now, we actually create a lot of video. It's sitting inside Listings to Leads right now. I'll show it to you, and you can use it when you're running ads and stuff like that. So if you want your ad to be more effective, incorporating video is a super smart way. So I would actually recommend that you go check that out. It's very new. I'm not going to dive into it today. I'm going to dive into our core stuff, which is getting started. Because when you're getting started, there's kind of 4 things I like to talk about: how you set up your account, how the listings page works. So let me stop that from happening, and how the ad section work, and then how the landing pages are, and a couple of other cool things that are here. Okay. So when you sign up, and when you log in, you come right here to the account setup page. And there's a kind of a wizard here. I'm going to go do these things, but what we want to do is we want to connect to your social media, which is for automated posting. Then we want to connect to your social media ad account, which is so that to help you run ads. If you've got a CRM, we can do that here and connect to your CRM. And then if you want to activate text IVR, which is kind of where you get a unique code for a property, maybe you put it on a sign writer, maybe you put it on a flyer. Anytime we do social media stuff, we automatically embed it. If you want, the nice thing about text codes, it is a $10 add-on, but you get more leads with phone numbers. If you like to convert leads, converting leads with phone numbers is much easier. So I'm going to do this account setup in the profile because I think it's a lot clearer to understand. So we're going to spend the next couple minutes talking about what you need to turn on, right? And let me ask a question here. If you would, in the chat panel, just give me a yes or no answer. Do you have a CRM? Yes or no? I don't even need to know what kind it is. So over here, the first thing you want to do on the profile is connect your social media. Okay, connect social media. Boop, boop, boop. Connect to all your accounts. Go get your Now, let's see here. See, I'm disconnected. Now we keep adding. So this is kind of what it looks like. You click connect to Facebook. It says continue as you as your personal name. Now I know this freaks out a lot of agents, but yes, you continue as you, because you don't want this stuff going to your personal page. It's going to ask you what business page. And you can see here, I'm going to Listings to Leads. Okay. Now, normally the second page would be what business page do you want? You're going to have your Facebook business page that you're connecting to there. I'm going to connect to LinkedIn. We'll see how this is. Yeah, sign in. Hopefully my password works. I hate it when my password changes and I don't remember how. So anyway, I'm not going to connect to Instagram but you get it how it is. Connect your social media, save it so it's all on there. I'm going to save that real quick. And then I'm going to go over here to Listings. Now, when you come to Listings, this is blank here, okay? And you need to click this button here, copy and paste, and that will paste everything in this box into this box, right? And let's see here. And I have mine, it says for demo purposes only, which I like because this is for demo purposes. So I don't want people, as this goes out, to think it's a real listing. One thing I will add, if you've got a handle, if you've got like a brand that you're marketing, maybe it's your team name, maybe it's you super rock star realtor. If you add your own hashtag here, it's going to automatically post. So when we're saving this, and we're doing post, it's going to automatically do that for you. Okay. And then, so back on, that's auto posting. Okay. Now, I asked a question a moment ago. We've got one person with a CRM. So let me just show you what you do if you have a CRM. You go to CRM integration. You'll notice that we have a lot of APIs for a lot of the big names. We also have, that's interesting. I don't know why that's there. If you don't see your CRM here, most CRMs give you a unique email address, okay? And let me just take it. You only need it one time. So they'll give you, and when they give you a unique email address, it might be Vincent with like 20 long, weird numbers and letters. It's like super unique, so nobody can find it. But if you put it here and you save it, that tells listings to leads to send every lead that we capture for you to the CRM. And because your CRM provides that email, they're going to take it and scrape the info off and drop it in automatically in your system. But you see over here, the other big ones, right? Follow Up Boss, Chime, Lion Desk, lots of other great CRMs. So since everybody else said they don't have a CRM, I want to introduce you to a new part of our platform called follow-ups. We launched this in January. We have follow-ups in English. We have follow-ups in Spanish. And we have follow-ups for buyers or for sellers. You can turn them on both right here. I'm going to click in here. You can see what we've done here and what we're doing. In some cases, we give away PDFs, but we keep it really brief. And I can tell you this, we've got a lot of feedback already on these that they are closing business for our clients this year. And I actually was on a phone call with a client about a month ago. And she was wondering, like, what happens to my leads? And I said, well, you can see it right here. And by the way, what I was showing her is the leads tab. And I said, you can see your leads. And if you click on the eyeball, you can actually see what they are looking at. Because if you turn on the follow-up, and let's kind of, maybe this will open for me. Of course, it's lagging. If you click on the eyeball, you're going to see the lead. If you've got follow-ups turned on, you're going to see that it was, in this case, open, and you can even tell, did they unsubscribe? Here, you can see they unsubscribe, right? So you can, and if you want, you can even log your own activity. Like, oh yeah, I made a phone call, called on Friday, and tell, if you want, it's a very kind of CRM light. But if you don't have a CRM, or you have not configured it, I highly recommend that you go over to follow-ups and you just turn it on, right? Because we know if it's a buyer and seller lead every time we capture a lead for you. So we will drop it in the right campaign, and there you go. There's another new system here called social. It's a social tab. This is actually social content, okay? And this content is good if you want your social media accounts to look like you actually pay attention to them, okay? And what I mean is when you come here, the first thing it's going to say is connect to Facebook, connect to your social media, and you connect just like we did on the auto posting, but this is a different part of the platform. So you connect, and then it's going to say, well, great. Well, what is your posting schedule, right? And we normally default to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you can have it every day. I have it like on Saturday. I'm going to turn that off because I actually like this stuff. Just leave it there. And then it says choose your topics. Okay. So there's design, right? Kitchen design, kitchen living, creative spaces, outdoor living stuff, maintenance. So, kind of soft content related to real estate, but not really capturing a lot of leads. But it just makes your social media look like you're actually there and you're keeping it current. So then the real main three areas of the platform, that's kind of the setup, guys. That's the setup. Are there any questions about that? Then I will say one thing, where we really do the work are listings, ads, and landing pages. So let's start on listings first. And what I want to say about this is if you have your own listings, we typically sweep them in from ListHub. And ListHub's probably talking to your MLS, and that's how we get it. If you don't have your own listings, you can always go to this green button on top and say, I want to grab a listing. Now, this one you want to make sure that you've asked somebody that you can market their home, right? So it says grab listing, deselect this since it's not yours. and drop in the zip code and drop in an MLS ID and grab it, and it will pull that in. Okay. Now, just an FYI, I haven't talked about this much. We also have that same ability if you like to market HUD homes, right? That might actually become a factor here in the future for probably the next year or two. There might be like, homes that you can market and just put out there. Every realtor can market a HUD home. So that's a really great way of getting buyer leads. So once the listing is in the system, it sits right here. And you can see that I can click market listing, the green button here. I'm going to click on here on this open house. And you can see all the tools that we create. Now, I would say about half of these tools we email to you automatically. So you can work from your email if you want. But I think it's a lot easier just to work right inside the system. You'll see that from top to bottom, we have ranked it. Scott and I put this list together in order of its, let's say, its power and return, right? The number one thing you could do if you want buyer leads is actually create an ad. Now, if you've created an ad on Facebook before, you might know there are 3 pages and maybe 10 or 15 boxes to check. It's not easy. I would tell you half of the agents in the US have actually run an ad on Facebook. And of those half, maybe only not even half of those people had a successful ad. And that's because Facebook is, oddly enough, a little bit complicated. So what you cannot tell is there's actual Facebook software behind this page. And we can tell by what you're clicking what your goal is. And we've coded it in the back. So all you have to do is click create ad. And you're going to have a successful ad that's going to get name, email, and phone number pre-populated by the Facebook profiles. It's also going to ask them what your time frame to buy or sell is. Now, there's only one thing you might want to do. And you can see this content up here. This is what's going to look like on the app. Okay. Now, I'm going to kind of double click on it, and I'm going to put Akalani's high school district, right? Or school district. There are oftentimes where that is a big factor, right? You want, or maybe it's just that you've got a new granite kitchen, or maybe there's a custom wine cellar or whatever. If it's not showing up here and you think it's a real selling point, just type it right in before you create the ad, and that's it. Okay. And these ads, really effective way of getting buyer and seller. Just so you know, $35. It ends in 7 days, and that's it. That's all you can spend. Okay. Now we also have this section here, which is social media post. This is auto posting. So I showed you where you turn on auto posting on your profile a few minutes ago, but now this is what it looks like, right? So when you see this box that says auto posted on July 11th, if I click here, it'll actually take me to the post. We even email this to you. You click in on the email and go, oh, I want to go see it. And then boom, you could kind of go do that. Now, the cool thing about it is it's got emojis, which is actually anytime you put anything on social media, you should have emojis. It has hashtags, which are cool, good because they're indexed by places like LinkedIn and Twitter. And of course, it's going to have a nice picture. And if you click on that picture, it's got a listing landing page behind it. Now, this has got an open house, so it's kind of time sensitive, and you can see the ticking time bomb thing there. But it's high level. It's not details. If you want details, click here. And people click continue to Facebook all day long, right? We've been doing it for so long. But when they click that, we grab their name and email and deliver it to you. Okay. And now we drop them automatically on the single property website. And the single property website has all this, information on the home. We even out for a home value in case somebody's just looking around and trying to get an idea of what's going on, the maps, the cool stuff that you would expect, your reviews, if you got reviews, and then the big footer, what is your home worth? Even though it's an open house, we know many people are looking at your properties and they're thinking of selling their homes. We've got a lot of call to actions to find those seller leads. So that's an automated post, right? Those leads that you capture, they're free. Now we also have a tool for the seller social media. These leads are designed to get high quality leads, not a lot of leads, but these are very close to referrals. I am going to tell you that back on that YouTube channel, when you look at this video of the top tools to get more listings, the seller's email, the seller's social media post, which is this right here, this is a very high quality lead. The highest quality lead is the nearby homeowner letter. You should all be using this if you want more listings. Okay. I'm going to show it to you right now. This is for your print strategy. Okay. It says, I got an open house, and go here to go find out about it. And you know that that's going to capture a lead. But it says when this home is sold, that's going to affect your home value, and go here. Okay. And so let's just think about what I'm saying here. This is a piece of paper. You have to get it in the neighborhood. The easiest way is to door knock it. You could also put it in front of, a box, but not all clients like to do that. Most of our clients will find a way to mail this. And again, how you mail it is covered directly inside how to get top ways to get more listings. So you definitely want to be thinking about that. But there's very few people. Let's say you mail out 100 of these, right? Maybe 100, maybe 200. People got to open the envelope. Somebody's got to read this real quickly and go, oh, I get my free home value. I'm going to take this to my own computer and type in my address. And when I do that, if I want my home value, I've got to give you, now you have my address, so you know I'm kind of interested. But the next question will be, hey, we've got your listing, your information ready, but what is your, what's your email address and get delivered to? So once at this point, we're going to drop them on kind of well, we'll see right here, kind of this is the spectrum of, we don't give that exact estimate. I know a lot of people really hated the Zillow estimate. We get our data from onboard informametrics, and we have multiple call to actions if you really need an exact number, right? Is that just right? Do you need a real-time consultation? But now you know the person's address and their email address. Now, you probably have already, since you mailed it, you already know who it is, but this is just really high quality leads if you like seller leads. Now, we've got an electronic version of that same letter. If you're an agent with a CRM with hundreds or thousands of leads, you want to be using this at least once or twice, once a week or every other week. I mentioned video on the social media side in our mastermind group. This will show you how to use video script. We actually have video scripts to help you do your own. We create single property websites, virtual tours. We have postcards, just like the nearby homeowner letter. On the front, it says, hey, open house, or just listed, or just sold. But on the back, it says, get your free home value. That affected your home value. So if you've got a print strategy, you should incorporate our tools, our designs. They are designed to capture leads. We also have sign writers. If you're using our text service, that's involved. But also we've got them with QR codes, and QR codes have become more popular since COVID. People could just take a snap with their phone, and we'll drop them on a mobile optimized website, and you're going to have a phone number of the person interested in that. If you're a blogger, we got blog posts. If you're still using Craigslist, we got that covered. And as I mentioned, we got QR codes. So that's the listing marketing side. It's all created automatically. The more tools you use, it's kind of like fishing with one fishing pole or fishing with 5. You're probably going to catch more fish with more poles. Now, the next section we're going to look at is ads. And when we look at ads, you're going to see my page. And it's not, it won't look like this first time you come here. It's going to say connect to Facebook. Connect to Facebook, choose your business page, come back here. And now you can create ads for listings, for landing pages, and for PDF guides. So I'm going to click on listing ad real quick. And I'm going to look at that open house we were looking at just a minute ago. And I'm going to click create ad. Okay, so you choose your property, you click create an ad, and boom, there you go, right? You're ready to create an ad. Now, we actually did this before, but you could do it from this section as well. Okay. But you can also run ads in this section on sold ads, right? And when you run ads on later stages, like under contract, sold, or pending, the call to action is not for buyers. It's to get your free home value. So I want you to understand what we're doing here. Like if this home is sold, now I'm going to tell you how to make this work a little bit better, but what I'm about to tell you is going to sound a little dated, but the concept still holds. You can see what's pre-written. It's like that affected your home value, right? Had we been talking 2 months ago, I would have told you to be typing things like this, like in contract in 2 days, right? Because that was happening in 4 days and 7 days, right? Sold, 10K above asking, 8 offers, right? So right now, the market's taking a breather. It's not going to last forever. We're going to, people are going to start to understand that we're going to have some, higher interest rates and effectively zero. So these kinds of things will happen, but you might want to add a few things. What the point is, the generic ad does not always work. And if you can entice people by some of the things that were, really help close this, I recommend that you run it and then you add it. Now, this is going to get names, email, and phone number pre-populated by Facebook profiles, but it's also going to add how soon do you need to sell? And if they respond with 1 to 3 months, you need to get serious about converting. And I'm going to take a quick pause here just about conversion. And I actually should do a video on this, but as I have mentioned, we have a follow-up plan. If you don't have a CRM, you should turn this on. If you do have a CRM, you should have that connected on the profile like I showed you earlier. But one thing, especially because I keep saying that we're capturing leads with name, email, and phone number. And I don't know how long you guys have been realtors, but there's a really great saying in the market that you can hear from so many coaches and so many real estate gurus. And I think you can hear it even outside of the real estate space. And it's called speed the lead. Speed the lead, right? I mean, this, that if you're paying Zillow and you're paying for leads from them, 3 other agents get the exact same lead at the exact same time. So who's fastest? Who's going to get in there and get it, right? I get speed the lead. I think we can all sort of understand it. But let me kind of tell you about the modern world that I have seen. And maybe this resonates with you. A lot of us don't even answer the phone if we don't recognize that phone number. Right. I don't even bother. Just go to voicemail and I'll call you back because there's so much scams and spamming and robots and nonsense that it's just not worth your time to answer the phone. Right. Now, if because you've been like following your coach and there's a speed lead, you call that lead because we got you a phone number from Facebook profile. If they answer, they're likely going to be, oh, no, and that's because they don't even want to talk to you because they don't know you. Right. That's just the world we live in. It doesn't make it a bad lead. It's just you are thinking unrealistically of what's going to happen. Here's my message. Either turn on our follow-ups or turn on your CRM so that they're getting some, frequent touches, and text them at least once a week. Text them until they are ready to talk to you. And the body of that text should be something like this. Hey, I am doing something. I am helping a client. I'm at an open house. I'm doing whatever, but I know you asked a question about this. Can I help you? Or you got another question, right? It's a home value. Did you do any improvements? Like, don't blow up their phone with a huge paragraph of a text. Simple. Hey, I'm here. I'm active. I'm in the market. I'm helping people. Can I help you? I don't want you to slip through the cracks. Add that to your conversion. Okay. I'm going to actually make a video on that specific topic, but that's going to help you. At some point, they're going to get comfortable responding to you and they're going to want to talk to you. That's when it starts to pay off. Okay. So we talked about creating a Facebook ad. Oh, let's see. I got a question here. How long is the follow-up from L to L? It goes on forever. It doesn't stop, but I think it goes for a year and then it resets. Okay, Anna. So when we go back to ads, we want to create, I showed you how to create a listing ad. I showed you that for early stages to get buyers and for later stages to get sellers. Let's go to PDF guide ads. Okay. Now, PDF guides, we have over 60 of these written, some for buyers and some for sellers. So you decide who you want to talk to. If you download one of these, and there's a little white download button right here, you will notice that you are branded on every page of every PDF guide, right? So this is actually a really great tool to get out in the market, because when you run an ad, let's just do this one, 12 mistakes to avoid. You click this. In this case, there's an extra step. You have to type in the name of the town. I'm going to type it, right? And you want to make sure, I think you actually want to run something like this once a week, right? If your budget allows. Now, this is an ad for a seller, okay? And Facebook sets the price per lead, okay? So we've got a $50 ad running for a week, and Facebook sets a price. So earlier I was showing you how to run a open house ad. They set the price of those leads like somewhere between $1.50 and $2 a lead, okay? But when you're giving away a PDF guide to homeowners, they often charge closer to $10 a lead. That's why we make a bigger budget. So if they are, and it's not the same for every agent across the country, it kind of depends on your local market and competition. I don't exactly know how they set the price, but it is not exactly the same for everybody. Okay. You can imagine if you get a glass of wine in Manhattan, New York, that same glass of wine costs more than if you bought it in Cincinnati. Same exact is exactly true for the same kind of ad, same thing, but it's getting, Manhattan unfortunately pays more for the same exact lead. Okay. So all you do is click publish. This shows up. It says click to download. We give them the link to download it. You don't even have to mess with it. You're just going to start getting name, email, and phone number, and when do they need to sell. Okay. So I really recommend, and we recommend, that you are running ads on PDF reports maybe once a week or every other week, watching your budget, right? And when you set that, you notice we had a $50 ad, it ends in 7 days. You cannot spend more than the $50, so you don't have a risk. Now, there's also landing page app, and I'm going to show you where to create landing pages, but you can create all kinds of landing pages for home values. You can create custom landing pages for buyers, for sellers, whatever you want. Actually, I created a landing page last week for home values for San Antonio, Texas, right? Excuse me. And it kind of looks like that. Now, I want to caution you. If everybody is following, I want you to I'm going to slam on the brakes, and I'm going to tell you that if I go here and I type in San Antonio, you might do this. A lot of agents like to do this, right? They create their landing page for the target market and they go here and they run. And then they come in the mastermind group because that didn't really work for me. Like this lady, like what's going on, right? I did this and it didn't work. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to go into why too much, but I'll give it to you pretty lightly. This kind of ad has been used by realtors for nearly 10 years. For that reason alone, it's not the most effective ad. The market's kind of been awash with this forever. But actually, the real reason that this ad is not working is about, I don't know, in the past 4 to 5 years, Facebook has had their hands slapped because of illegal ads created that are discriminatory and also just jacking around with elections, right? So your ability to target with your ad has been decreased. So if you try to run an ad the way that I'm doing it right now, you will most likely just waste your time and money. This does not work that well for most people. But all that being said, remember how I keep mentioning this YouTube channel that we have? And it says the best way to get listings from Facebook and new strategy to get high quality listings from Facebook. Watch these two videos, because it's going to tell you how to make this ad work again. And then it's awesome. Okay. So watch those if you want more listings. Okay. So that's the kinds of ads we can run on Facebook. And now I'm going to tell you something that I tell people all the time, which is if you don't have a Facebook ad strategy, let's just talk about your business as a realtor, right? Like, what is your ad strategy? You might be with a big brand that has like a national ads going out, and that's kind of helping your major, brand. But is it helping you? Is it helping you, the realtor, right? Like your name, where people get to know who you are. There are, you can do print stuff. Like I've shown you the print tools that can help, but how do you build your brand as a realtor out there? And I actually think, and we work with YouTube, with Facebook, with Twitter, with LinkedIn. We are starting to work with TikTok. Right now, the best place to get leads is Facebook. And you may not like Facebook, but just pound for pound, the best place is there. Another really great place to get leads from the internet is Google. And I would say in about 4 weeks, you're going to see a Google button right here on this page where we're going to allow you to create ads on Google very easily as well. And so this is really going to help your business, right? Now, as I've shown you, you can run 3 kinds of ads right now: a listing ad, a landing page ad, and a PDF guide ad. This is what I recommend to every green agent. And if you're green, what I mean is like you're brand new and nobody knows who you are. You might be a seasoned agent and have no listings. I would definitely recommend the same kind of strategy and budget. Borrow a listing if you can, put a FSBO in there, get a HUD, whatever you want, and create a listing ad once a week for like 25 bucks. And during the same week, create either a PDF guide ad or a landing page ad every week. So that's 2 ads a week costing 25, 50 bucks total. And that there's usually 4 weeks every month. So that's 200 bucks a month. Okay. That's like a minimum ad budget that I would recommend to anybody. Okay. What do you think you'll get for that? Well, one thing I didn't mention is that when an ad is run, I've been talking about leads. So for 200 bucks, you probably collect 100 to 200 leads every month, right? But there's also another thing. You can see it down here. It says reached. I don't know if you can see it. It's reached. There's an eyeball. And what that means is when you run the ad, a lot of people see it. They don't all click on it. They just see it, right? So here I'm on Facebook, and then you see something. The first thing you always see is something from one of your friends or family, something that you're connected to on Facebook, right? But the next thing you always see is an ad. This is an ad for Motley Fool, okay? So your ad that you're creating here is getting seen by everybody that's in your target, 15-mile radius or whatever radius you've set. So the reach for those 8 ads is about 15,000 to 20,000 people. So think of that. For 200 bucks, 15 to 20,000 people are going to start learning you're a realtor because it says you, the rockstar realtor, right, whatever agency you are, whatever your business page is. That's what's getting sponsored. That's building your brand. If they click on it, like here, I can learn more. I don't know where that's going to take us, but in hours, we're going to capture them as a lead and we're going to deliver it to you. So I actually think Facebook is super important. It's probably one of the most important places for you to be spending any kind of ad budget. And I want to point something out. I mentioned it'll be seen 15 to 20,000 times. I mentioned that you can collect like 100 leads or so, right? We don't sell leads to other people. If you use our tools and you capture a lead, they go in your box. They go to your CRM. They go nowhere else. So you're building your brand. You're capturing your own leads. There are companies out there that are just doing all kinds of weird things with leads. That's not us. So let's see here. I see a question. Is there a list of prices for what the ads cost? No, there isn't. I can give it to you right now, but when we look at ads, if you're creating an ad for buyers, and that would be something that's for sale or coming soon or open house, the default is always $35. Okay. I'm going to click create it now. We'll look at it. It's always there. Right. Now you can shrink it, but there's a minimum of, you have to spend $5 a day to have an ad appear on Facebook. You can shrink it. If I change that to $20, it gives me a red message like something's wrong. So I would have to back off my days to 4 days, right? That's kind of how that works. I think a better way of thinking of it is if you're running ads for sellers, which a lot of our clients do, once they understand how it works, how the leads are happening, what's happening, they tend to increase the budget because they'd rather have more seller leads, right? So even though we put $50, I've got clients running, $500 a month in ad budget because they have a team and they want more leads, and now they know that's how you do it. So there is no list. We default to 2 prices, 35 and 50. If the ad is designed to get seller leads, it's a $50 ad. If it's an ad designed to get buyer leads, it's a $35 ad. And as you can see from what I've just shown you, you can always change that value. The ads are always defaulting to run for 7 days. Okay, so those are the kinds of ads we have. Google is going to be great. Google's going to be more expensive, just so you know. Those ads cost more, but for certain kinds of strategies, they are really effective. And then there's this landing page ad. So I showed you, how to run a landing. Let me just show you really quickly. I'm going to do one on new construction, run an ad, and, boom, it's kind of just creates the ad, right? Just does everything for you. Now over here is a landing page section. And on the landing page section, you can create unlimited landing pages. And the landing pages that you definitely want, again, if you want more listings, is Property Valuation Plus, okay? And you should actually have one for every town that you want a business in, right? Even here, I've got a neighborhood. This is a neighborhood in Lafayette called Release Valley. Small town. There's a swim club right in the front of the neighborhood. So I have a picture of the swim club because I know everybody knows that club. So when you're asking people for their address and their contact information, it's best to give them a picture that makes them feel like you know their area, okay? I've got right in the other direction, 5 minutes away, I got Pleasant Hill. This is the downtown mall where everybody gets their food and goes and see a movie. It's a cool little, area. If you live in Pleasant Hill, you definitely know that place. And that's what you're trying to do, is establish a little bit of trust, because you're asking for somebody's address, and that's what it is. So Alan, no, I'm sorry, we don't have an API for GoHi. I do think GoHi does have a unique email address, so you can ask them for that and drop it in your profile. And Mike is saying, where was the HUD button? So when we go to listings, and guys, feel free to throw your questions in. When we go to listings, there's a green button that says add listing, and you can grab a listing, and you can borrow just another listing from your colleague, or you can grab one from the HUD home store. And you need the zip code and the case number. There's actually a HUD Homes. I can't remember what the website is, but you can actually research all listings and then get that case number. And then you drop it in and pull it in. Okay, you're welcome. So let's go over here to landing pages. I want to show you one more thing about landing pages, which is one, after you create it, when you create a landing page, I got one here for Brookhaven. You can actually snap in a video, right? And as long as it's on YouTube, you can copy it and you can put it in. Whoa, sorry about that. You can copy and put it in right here. And just so you know, most of you got these really cool smartphones. You can shoot your own video and you can upload it to YouTube and snap it right in here, just like I'm doing right here. But also, like, this is a Brookhaven page, right? Brookhaven. This is a golf course community. If I click on edit, I want to show you something that's really cool here. In the background of the home valuation landing pages is an advanced options section. In advanced options is a print marketing section. And here is a letter that looks a lot like that nearby homeowner letter, which I mentioned earlier is our #1 tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts, right? So you can edit this. You can say, hey, we got 10 homes sold last month or 5 homes, and that's 20 for the year. You can just edit all this, and it's going to have your logo, your contact info, and it's going to say that affected your home value. Go get your free home value. It's another good tool for getting listings. Again, I cover it in the top tools to get listings in 2022. Okay. So definitely get back here in this page and learn how to use all these tools. But that's kind of my story for today. I will go down 2 other things. Text IVR is where we have a unique code for each property. They stay with you. If you're printing sign writers, you can reassign them to new properties as you sell them. We also have these cool things here, bots. Now, bots are like little chat campaigns, right? And I know we were really excited when we did them. I could just tell you that I am not seeing it move the needle that much. And it's a little bit of a setup. So if you're not super techie, I wouldn't worry about it. If you are super techie and you're one of those people that just don't sleep at night, you might find this very interesting. That's kind of my story, guys. Any questions? I think that's everything I got. We're adding Google in just a couple weeks here. Oh, one more thing I think you really should look at, especially if you're new. This is the dashboard page, and you can register here for our classes. Over here is a listing presentation. And this listing presentation, I really recommend you can download it, the presentation down here. And I really recommend you watch this video because it really helps you understand how to present listings to leads so that you close every listing appointment you're on. Everything I've shown you guys, like, it's really hard to compete against all this because agents, they might have 1 or 2 of the things I just shown you today. If they're not using our platform, there's no way they can have all this going on. And you can load in a listing over here and say, hey, I want to do it manually. Let's kind of go to the listings. And if you're doing a listing presentation, just go drive in front of the home and take a photo of it with your smartphone and just put it in and change it to the status to listing presentation. That way, all the tools are automatically created. And you can say, these are the kinds of things that I create. And you can show them how it captures leads and things like that. So it's definitely check out our listing presentation. If you want more listings, that can be very helpful for you as well. What else? There is something here in our library. I don't go in the library too much. So guys, if you have questions, definitely let me know, right? Because that's kind of the end of my story. But I do want to point out, we have a section here that says media from the library. And we have videos. And it's unfortunate that we have to really dig down because this is actually a really valuable little spot here. We created a number of videos here that you can use in ads, right? Now, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but on social media, ads with video perform higher than ads with just a static picture, right? Also, ads with video are cheaper to run than ads without video. So you might want to look at this video section here if you're into running ads, because it's just going to lower your cost for your ads and cost per lead, and it's going to be more effective for you. Okay. It's going to help you get more leads. So guys, I'm going to open it up for questions now. And please let me know if any question on any topic, I'd be happy to help. I tried the HUD but it's asking for an MLS listing ID. So let's just go over here and add listing. And we're going to grab listing, but there's a tab up here that says grab listing. And you got to click on this one that says HUD Home Store. And it needs a case number. And the case number is actually on the HUD's home site. Okay. Can you show the properties that have already been sold in our ads? Yes, you can. Now, Jermaine, if you have been a client and your listings aren't in here, but you sold one like 2 months ago, you would have to manually add it here. You can't grab a sold property. It's just not available. So you'd have to add it manually, and then you could run an ad. Does that make sense? Are you all running a beta on Google to figure out cost per lead? No, Alan, we're not running the beta yet. But just generally speaking, you probably know this. Ads on Google are always more expensive than ads on Facebook. But for certain kinds of leads, it's worth it. The video library that we were looking at is active. Yes. So you go to your library in your account, go to media from L to L, and click on videos here, right? And these can also be snapped in, like you can actually use these in your ads. And I'm not sure what stock videos is here. So these are kind of just bigger, broader kind of things there. But I also will mention one other thing about video. Now, let me answer these questions before I show you. If you run an ad, do you need to post it to your own page? I want to add a couple of ads for sold listings, but do not want it to show the people on my page. Anna, do you mean your business page or your personal page? When you run an ad, it actually does not show up. When you run an ad, it does not show up on your business page or on your personal page. Okay. It just doesn't even show. That's an ad. If you share something or you do a social media auto post, that will only share on your business page. It will not show on your personal page. A lot of agents, and let me kind of share that. Let me show you something here. Let's go to a listing and actually let's go to a landing page. Let's go to landing page. It's very, very easy. And we were looking at that San Antonio. I'm going to click on edit. So and I kind of want to point this out because this is something that you guys probably don't know about Facebook. But first of all, this is my San Antonio home value page. If I share it and I say Facebook, it will want to share to my personal page. Okay. But I can also say, no, I want it to go to my business page. Okay. And then you would type something about that. Right. And let's see. So you would type something about it. Now, a lot of agents, and maybe some of you, have like hundreds or thousands of friends on Facebook who are kind of prospects, right? You met them, hey, follow me on Facebook kind of thing. And so you might be thinking, I want to share this to my personal page. Just so you know, that's against the terms of service from Facebook. It's not like anybody reads the terms of service from Facebook, but they find out about them in the worst way, which is when Facebook shuts down your account and you realize, oh my God, there's no support and they're not helping me. And a lot of agents don't realize that they should never have been posting things from their business on their personal page. Okay. So I'll show you my personal page because I do a lot of presentations for our offices, right? For our clients. And often my stuff shows up right here. Oh, there's my dog buddy, right? But I often get this stuff that's like my business stuff. And I come in here and I wipe it out. I delete it because it's against the terms of service. And I don't want my account shut down. Okay. Now I know a lot of you don't think of that, but believe me, we get calls from people like all flipped out because their stuff is just shut down. And Facebook has some of the worst support in the market. Okay. So do I have an account management team? Yes. So I got some questions, guys. Add your questions. Do we have an account management team? Yes, it's $400 a month to month, 3-month commitment. You still have to pay for your ads if you want us to run ads, but we do a number of the services that I've shown you here today. I live in a market where I can't sell a quarter mile to the east of me. Yeah. Okay. And previously, oh yeah, doesn't make that work. Yeah. So Mike is talking about the fact that he's targeting a certain area and Facebook has a 15-mile radius. And I have not now, Mike, I don't know how long you've been on this call, but right here on our videos page is the best way to get listings from Facebook and the new strategy to get high quality listings from Facebook. This talks about how to overcome that 15-mile radius. I'm going to send this link to you in case you didn't get this earlier. and everybody else is going to get this link. Okay. Mike, I would look at that to answer your question about that 15-mile radius problem. The answer is in how you target that at, because it's just, that is the answer. Okay. Let's see. I don't have time to watch more videos to help me decide if I'm going to purchase. So just an FYI yeah. Well, got it. Let's see here. Where did I get the case number for HUD? Yeah. I would look up maybe hudhomestore.com. Okay. All right, everybody. Any other questions? While I'm waiting, thanks for joining me today. I hope this helped you. If you're a client, please make sure and ask the support team to get you in the mastermind group. Okay. And take care, everybody. Find this page, really helpful. Our clients are able to grow their business literally by 100. We've had an agent go from 5 million to 20 million in production and tell us 80% of his business is coming from our system. The only reason that guy can say that is because he learned how to use our tools. I think it's a really good investment for you guys to make. I know this can help your business grow. Thanks for joining me here today, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.